What does it take to be successful at Army AIT? I have some tips and tricks. Let's get to it. Hi, if you're new here, I'm Kylie, just another Army vet. I enlisted as a medic in the early 2000s in the Army, and I just recently medically retired. Please like and comment and subscribe if you find my video useful. We're here today to talk about what you have to do to be successful at Army AIT. Now, these tips will also apply if you're going to tech school or A school if you're in the Space Force, Air Force, Navy, Coast Guard, or Marines. All these tips you can apply to those schools as well. Now, we can break down our tips into 3 categories. 1, academic side. 2, the social side. And 3, the soldier side. So number 1 is the academic side. In order to be successful at AIT academically, you have to actually participate in class, ask questions, and study. You need to find how you learn. Some people are better at the hands-on, some are better at visual, some are better with the audio. Most people do well with the hands-on training. Now, most jobs most jobs in the military are going to be very hands-on, especially when it comes down to things like infantry or IT or medic. You're going to be very hands-on with the tasks that you're completing in your different jobs. Now, when it comes to classroom, you need to be asking questions and not falling asleep, which I know can be hard because I remember being so tired at AIT that during breaks we'll be waiting in a line to use the bathroom, and it turns out that people sitting on the stall had fallen asleep. So it's the exhaustion factor is there. But regardless, you still need to pay attention and ask questions. Speaking of falling asleep, if you fall asleep in class, it's going to be bad news. So just make sure you stand up. That's going to be a rule throughout your whole Army career, is that if you are falling asleep during some sort of class or presentation, you need to stand up, walk to the back of the room, and stay paying attention, standing up, awake. Now, when it comes to studying, for me, having a study buddy or having a study group made all the difference in the world. I remember doing some hands-on practice in our barracks, even just for medic school, and actually doing some real hands-on training with a few people in my class. Find someone who is doing well in the class, who really understands it, or find someone who maybe is already an EMT or a paramedic. They'll also be in that class with you. Just find someone who really understands the material and then make friends and study with them. It is the most important part about AIT, is just studying, because if you don't pass these classes or these tests, then that's when you'll have to recycle or get reclassed. You don't phase up, you have to go to study hall, you don't get privileges. It's this whole domino effect. So you do not want to fail. One of my biggest tips for academic success is use note cards. Note cards help me tremendously. I would write down some questions on a note card and then the answer on the back, and I would keep my note cards in my cargo pocket, and when we're waiting in line for things such as the DFAC, I would just whip them out and I'll be looking at my note cards, quizzing myself. It made the biggest difference in the world. So you really need to study. With that being said, everything you learn at AIT is just the basics of your job. When you go to your first duty station, that's when you'll get your real good training, all the on-the-job training, OJT. But I remember at AIT, we learned so much, but when I went to my first duty station, did I know how to wrap a sprained ankle? I'm sad to say I did not. not. That was just one of the things we never learned at AIT. We never learned that. Yeah, so I can be embarrassed about that, but if we were never taught a skill, how are you supposed to know it? Number 2, the social side. The social side can be summed up in one simple sentence: avoid the drama. I'm going to say it again. Avoid the drama. So how do you do that? 1, you need to compromise, especially when living in shared sleeping quarters, such as 80-man bays or 2 or 4-man rooms. 2nd, you need to find a circle of friends and make them your people. People that you can study with or hang out with, socialize, etc. Just find some people that you get around with, make some friends. That's very important. And the last point is probably the most important, but you need to avoid romantic relationships. The point of AIT is to learn your job, pass all the course requirements, and then go on to your first duty station. The goal is not to find your true love, start a romantic relationship, and get married and start a life. No, please do not do that. Number 3, the soldier side of things. So, when you're at AIT, it's going to be important to maintain your PT. But if you just do PT with the company, you're not going to really improve. That's just more for maintenance. You will have to find time to go to the gym and to work out on your own. That's going to be very important. When it comes to maintaining discipline and your tact and your military bearing, that's going to be important also, because you may have instructors that are just NCOs in the classroom, but you will have drill sergeants that control every other aspect of your life. And yes, they do yell, and yes, they will smoke you. So you need to maintain the discipline of being a soldier, everything you learned at basic training. And yes, AIT is slightly more relaxed, but not when it comes to discipline. The biggest difference between AIT and basic is that you can earn privileges. Side note, this tip will apply throughout your entire military career, actually. But there's a wrong way of doing things, there's the right way of doing things, and there's the Army way of doing things. Guess what way you will need to learn while in the military or at AIT? The Army way. Does not matter what you may know from the civilian side of things. Just toss that in the trash. You just need to learn the Army way of doing things, and then you'll be successful. Let's review my tips on how you can become successful at AIT. Number 1, the academic side, you need to study. Number 2 is the social side. You need to avoid the drama, which means do not get married or get involved in romantic relationships. Hint, hint. And on the soldier side, number 3, you need to maintain discipline and your physical fitness. Again, I'm Kylie, just another Army vet. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. If you learned anything from this video, then please drop that in the comments and share this video. This video will be a part of an AIT playlist, so stay tuned for more videos just like this. If you could subscribe and like and hit that notification bell, I would really appreciate it. If you have any questions at all, please drop them in the comments. Until next time, thank you for watching. Signing out.